Hi there and a very warm welcome. You're watching WION World is One News with me, Molly Gambhir. A lot in store for you over the next 30 minutes. The debate over Article 35A, which is a special privilege according to the state of Jammu and Kashmir by the Indian Constitution, is back in focus. We will get you more on that in just a bit, and also the latest on the Gujarat Rajya Sabha election, which is turning into a high-stakes battle. But first up, a quick check on the headlines. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says Russia meddling in the U.S. presidential elections created serious mistrust, says the United States will respond to Russian expulsion of diplomats. The United States also slams North Korea, says it must end missile and nuclear tests for talks to begin. Pyongyang hits back, vows thousand-fold revenge. Damascus slams the United States over use of chemical weapons and airstrikes on residential areas and hospitals in Syria. National Conference leaders Omar and Farooq Abdullah hold a meeting of opposition leaders. This after reports emerge of the centre reviewing Article 35A that defines the residents of Jammu and Kashmir. Terror mastermind Hafiz Saeed launches a political outfit in Pakistan. No action by Pakistani authorities. Making a start with some breaking developments coming in right at the top of this edition. Major infiltration bid foiled by the security forces in Machil sector. 5 terrorists have been killed. That's the latest coming in on the infiltration bid which has been foiled in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The anti-terrorist operations currently underway, and in the latest that's trickling in, 5 terrorists have been killed. Let's go straight across to our correspondent Khalid Hussain, who's been getting us the very latest. What more do you have at this point, Khalid?
Well, we have been told by Army that major infiltration bid has been foiled in Machil sector that falls in border district of Kupwara. It's near to the line of control, where a group of militants were trying to infiltrate this side and was challenged by the forces there on LC. And while challenging, a brief encounter happened and 5 militants were gunned down. Their operation is still in progress because the group was in number more than 5. So the search operation has been launched in and across the Machil sector to fetch the other intruders who are trying to infiltrate this site. However, Machil is a traditional route of infiltration. We have in previous times also seen that many infiltrators have tried to infiltrate this site, and many times they got killed, or some of them have succeeded also in infiltration. But this time we have seen that LC has put on high alert. 3-layer security is on across the line of control and international border. That's why the infiltration bids, the attempts which are made by the militants to cross this side is in previous times are also been filed by the security forces. But this is the big achievement for the army who were posted there, that they have killed 5 militants in one go and are searching for others.
Khalid, also important to highlight here that this comes very close on the operation carried out in nearby Sambura region. How far apart are the 2 areas? And also in that, of course, Pakistani Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist was gunned down.
Well, Sambura is quite far from them. It's in North Kashmir and Sambura is in South Kashmir. But the infiltrators always try to come with arms and ammunition this side. And we have seen that local recruits who have been joining the militancy in South Kashmir or in North Kashmir fall the shots of arms and ammunition. And that's why we have seen the rifle snatching is happening in Kashmir, mostly in South Kashmir. And that's very important that the infiltrators who try to come this side comes with the arms and ammunition, and this is very important to stop them there or to eliminate them or to push them back to the that side of Kashmir. So the coming infiltrators, if they succeed to come this side, they will come with arms and ammunition, and already here some locals have joined the militant ranks and they will get the arms and ammunition. This will be another challenge for the security forces. So the operation at LC is very important, and this operation where 5 intruders have been killed is very important for the security forces this time.
All right, we're going to leave it there for the moment, Khalid. Appreciate those details coming in. We will, however, keep a close eye on the latest coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. However, we are now moving on to our top focus at this hour. The row over Article 35A once again has rocked Kashmir politics. Omar Abdullah and Farooq Abdullah quickly called an all-party meeting to pressurize the PDP-BJP government. Omar said that any dilution of the article would spin the state out of control. Take a look at this detailed report.
Article 35A sets the rules for the permanent residence for the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The article prevents non-state actors from buying property and settling in the state. Former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah argues that this article and state's accession to the Indian Union are part of the same coin. Omar argues, if you debate the legality of the article, then you will have to debate the legality of the accession itself. RSS-related outfits are opposed to this article and have moved to court. The centre on this issue has remained silent despite Mehbooba being against this move. The State Council even opposed the move in court.
You all know that the agenda of BJP and RSS is basically to erode the autonomous structure of this state. I think Chief Minister of the state has made a statement that if 35A is removed, she will quit the chair. I hope she stands by that statement of hers.
The matter has been referred to a higher bench. But till the matter is judicially resolved, it will continue to exercise a political life both in the valley and the national narrative. Bureau Report, WION.
Let's break this down for our viewers. Joining us right now in WION studio is Kamal Haq, spokesperson for Pan Kashmir. Also joining us is Sushil Pandit, an activist who is closely involved with roots of Kashmir. Joining us on the broadcast. But first up, Mr. Pandit, if I can come to you and help our viewers understand what is the need for Article 35A according to you?
See, Article 35A was proclaimed through the President of India as an enabling provision for the state to create its own laws with an immunity that no law in Indian Constitution can be invoked to challenge those laws. Which means even the fundamental laws, fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution of India could not be invoked in order to challenge any law made by the state government with respect to the citizens of the state, those who live there. It has created huge anomalies. There are lakhs of people who live in the state are deprived of some fundamental expectations that they can have from their government, like a job, like ability to vote in the panchayat or the state assembly, the benefit of the government policies, their scholarship schemes, studying in their institutions, work for the government in the jobs, and so on and so forth.
Right. Mr. Haq, where do you stand on this, given the fact that this is an issue which has come up for a debate time and again, but in the light of the legal battle which is also underway, your thoughts on that?
Actually, I think you need to understand this thing in the whole perspective.
Yes.
Nation has been misled on the provisions of Article 35A as well as the accession, J&K's accession to India, as well as Article 370. You need to understand that when India became independent, the union government gave liberty to all the princely states in India to constitute the constituent assemblies and frame their constitutions. J&K was part of that. It so happened that just 3 states, like most probably, if I remember correctly, it was Travancore, Mysore, and most probably Saurashtra, those who could constitute the assemblies and frame their constitutions. But then in 1949, all states came to its center. They said they are unable to frame their constitutions. So let the central constitution, which was being framed at that time by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, be applicable on the rest of the states, except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir did constitute the Constituent Assembly, framed their own constitution, which they implemented in 1957. But one of the biggest tragedies at that time was that once the Constituent Assembly got dissolved itself, it remained silent on Article 370. Either it should have abrogated it or it should have given clear-cut directions, but it remained silent. Now that thing is being exploited by the people, by the media, and by the related political parties in Jammu and Kashmir. As far as the 35A, as Sushil rightly said, it was an enabling provision issued by the central government, by the Union of India, to enable state assembly, constitutional assembly, to frame some of its own legalities. Right. But you need to understand that when the constitution of J&K was finally adopted, some sections were adopted in 1956 and then major portions were adopted in 1957. Right. The preamble states that Jammu and Kashmir would be integral part of India. Right. And Article 335A enabled the jurisdiction of Supreme Court over the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Sure. So anything done with this, there's a presidential promulgation, president can do anything with this thing. But now it's being, as I said earlier, also misused by the local people, by the local politicians to serve their own political
I want to take
ends.
that straight across to Mr. Pandit. Misuse is the term that Mr. Haq is using for the political statements that we've seen coming in. Of course, with the increasing momentum, given the fact that the Abdullahs have stepped into the political face-off. But beyond that, the legal battle which is underway, we do have the case of Charu Khan, who has written to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has moved the Supreme Court has sent out notices to the centre and the state. Given this legal battle which has surrounded this issue as well, what do you make of the apprehension on part of the centre or even the individuals who are against the repeal of the article?
See, it has become some kind of political brinkmanship in the state. Right. The entrenched political vested interests are threatening, literally, threatening to wage a war. They say the valley will be up in flames. They say there will be such disruption, the kind of which India has not seen ever. It is to browbeat Supreme Court and its constitution bench, which is looking at the legalities of it, the working of it, and what it has caused so far. That seems untenable. You cannot hold an entire system to ransom through these threats of violence, of disruption, and not certainly browbeat Supreme Court when it is busy looking at these provisions.
And aside from the political battle, the locals on ground, to what extent from your interaction on the issue do they stand divided on the issue?
You see, Article 35A had already divided the Jammu and Kashmir. When it was implemented in 1957, then there was a Praja Parishad movement in Jammu, which did not agree with it. Ladakh also did not agree with it. And there is a very interesting anecdote to this thing, that in 2012, Jammu and Kashmir High Court struck down the provision of 35A as far as the permanent residency is concerned. Both National Conference as well as PDP at that time took a legislative courts. They introduced a bill in the state legislature in order to nullify the state government, High Court judgment on this thing. But they were not able to pass it. Most probably it went into hibernation. They did not come to reach to any conclusion over this thing. As I said earlier also, as far as the locals are concerned, locals have been exploited mentally, they have been exploited intellectually, they have been exploited on all fronts by the successive governments in Jammu and Kashmir, by the political dynasties that have been operating there since 1947. And it has because it has become such an emotive issue for them without any rhyme and reason. Locals have behaved nothing with no rationales.
Mr. Pandit, let me just quickly get you in on the aspect of how the Abdullahs have been saying that the issue of accession cannot be separated from the issue of Article 35A. Do you agree?
It's buncombe. It is literally political brinkmanship. Accession happened on 26th of October 1947. Article 370 came more than 2 years later in the second half of November 1949, and 35A came in 54,
right,
which is good 7 years later.
So you
none
think
of these
that
were
the two
related?
cannot be interlinked?
Absolutely not.
All right.
In fact, latter developments are a perversion, and they create anomalies to the accession, which was similar on the lines for all 562 principalities that took place.
All right. On that note, Mr. Haq and Mr. Pandit, appreciate your joining us on the broadcast. We're completely out of time on this edition or for this discussion for the moment. We're going to leave it there for the moment. But we are moving on to our other focus at this hour, with hours to go for voting to fill up 10 vacant seats in India's upper house. All eyes are on Gujarat, where the battle has boiled down to a single point: whether Congress President Sonia Gandhi's close aide and long-time loyalist Ahmed Patel manages to get re-elected or not. Here's more on that in this report.
BJP President Amit Shah and Cabinet Minister Smriti Irani are contesting the August 8 Rajya Sabha polls and are expected to sail through rather comfortably. But it is the third vacant seat from Gujarat that has captured attention, as the BJP appears to be going all out to ensure Sonia Gandhi's close aide Ahmed Patel fails to enter Rajya Sabha for a fifth time. The BJP has fielded Congress defector Balwant Singh Rajput against Patel in a battle in which an adverse result would mean a huge loss of political face for Sonia Gandhi. As per sources, the BJP is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that Patel's re-election to the Rajya Sabha is not a cakewalk.
I am contesting as a Congress candidate. I am not contesting as a political secretary to the Congress president. कौन क्या होगा, कैसे होगा? But I am not only optimistic, but I am full confident that the Congress will win.
Patel, meanwhile, exuded confidence about his candidature. Meanwhile, the 44 Congress MLAs from Gujarat who had to be herded out to Karnataka to save them from being poached by the Bharatiya Janata Party in the run-up to the polls returned to Gujarat under police protection today. After flying from Bangalore to Ahmedabad, the Congress MLAs were moved to a resort in Khandali, where they will be made to stay till they are moved out for the voting in Gandhinagar on Tuesday. The resort is located in an area regarded as a Congress stronghold, and the beleaguered party has managed to get police protection to ensure that this flock stays together. Despite 6 of its MLAs having quit the party recently, the Congress is hopeful of Ahmed Patel sailing through, provided there is no further exodus from the party. The Congress is also hopeful of 2 NCP MLAs voting for Patel. The voting for this crucial poll will be over by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, and by 5 p.m. when the counting takes place, Patel's political fate will be known. Bureau Report, WION.
Joining us for more on this is our senior correspondent Raghavendra Rao, who's been getting us the very latest. Raghavendra, very interesting how just asked to go for the final battle to take place, but we've seen how it is a high-stakes battle, but also the momentum when it comes to the political temperatures has already been escalating.
Absolutely, Molly, and it's very rare that a Rajya Sabha election is attracting so much of attention. Rajya Sabha elections are normally very, very mundane kind of elections wherein the outcomes are usually known beforehand. And even in this particular one, there are 3 seats which are to be filled up from Gujarat, and the fact that Amit Shah is contesting to be a Rajya Sabha MP, it's almost a foregone conclusion that he will be elected rather comfortably to the upper house. So will Smriti Irani money be? But this third seat from Gujarat, therein lies the catch, because as what we are hearing from our sources, the BJP is very determined this time around to ensure that Ahmed Patel, who has been a 4-time Rajya Sabha MP, he has also been a Lok Sabha MP earlier in his career, they are trying very hard to ensure that he does not get re-elected. And, the idea behind, halting his re-election is to embarrass the Congress politically, given the fact that Ahmed Patel is a senior Congress leader. He's a very close aide of Sonia Gandhi. And a loss here for him would directly be a loss of, political face for Sonia Gandhi.
Also set against the backdrop of dramatic political developments and also coming amidst the silence of Mr. Vaghela, Raghavendra.
Absolutely. And, these 6 MLAs who resigned from the Congress, they apparently hold the key to tomorrow's elections. Now, also the fact that Congress is hoping to keep its flock of these 44 MLAs together, but there are murmurs that many of these MLAs could be exercising the nota option, the none of the above option. And if that were to happen, Mr. Patel's candidature could be in serious jeopardy. He requires 45 votes to sail through to Rajya Sabha. Congress is reasonably confident, given the fact that, they think this flock of 44 MLAs is going to stay together. They are currently lodged in a resort in Gujarat. They will be moved under police protection to Gandhinagar to vote tomorrow morning. Congress is trying very hard to keep them together so that, none of them breaks away at this critical stage. But if any of these MLAs were to exercise the nota option or break away and vote for the opposing candidate, then obviously it is going to be a very tricky situation for Mr. Patel to get re-elected.
Or we're going to leave it there for the moment, Raghavendra. Appreciate your joining us. Just asked to go for the final face-off. We will, of course, know in a few hours from now which way things are really headed. Moving on now to our other top focus coming in from southern India, but of course having ramifications for the entire country. BJP MP Poonam Mahajan today met superstar Rajinikanth at his residence in Chennai. Poonam then tweeted pictures of the meeting, adding to the ongoing speculations about the actor's entry into politics. Poonam, who is also the BJP Yuva Morcha national president, was in the city to attend a rally when she met the actor and his wife Lata Rajinikanth. The party has, however, dismissed that the meeting was political in nature and said it was only a courtesy call. Speculations about the actor testing political waters have been doing rounds actively since the actor's statements in May during a fan meeting. The BJP, which is trying to make inroads into the state, has already welcomed the actor, saying that his ideologies match theirs, if at all he makes his debut in politics. Take a listen in to what BJP's Poonam Mahajan had to say after the meeting.
I have no idea what he has expressed. He is the leader of people. He is in people's heart. I feel his place, Honorable Rajinikanth's place, is in people, Tamil people's heart. And that's the bigger space and bigger place than anything else, and I respect that.
All right, let's go straight across to our correspondent in Chennai, Revati Rajivan, who's been tracking the very latest. Revati, the superstar keeping the entire state and also the country guessing and not revealing what the next step will be. But this meeting assumes significance.
Well, absolutely, Molly. Ever since he made those comments in May during a fan meeting, every single meeting of his with political organization and other associations have been, taken with a lot of importance. Earlier, a Hindu fringe group called the Hindu Makal Kachi also met Rajinikanth at his residence, and today BJP MP Poonam Mahajan met him at his residence. So even while the party dismisses that this has got to do with any political decisions or planning, such meetings do add to the speculations about the superstar entering politics. Now, every time, the actor meets a leader, an organization, this is only adding up to the speculation that he might enter politics. Remember, the actor himself has not made any clear-cut statements as to whether or not he will be testing the political waters. He has not made any statements hinting at whether or not he will join an existing party or float his own party. But this kind of statements that he made during during May that if God willing I would be entering politics is something that has, given rise to these speculations. And that is coming after a very, very long time from Rajinikanth. And considering the kind of person he is, the actor he is, who does not, usually make political statements, unlike Kamal Hassan, who has been very vocal about his opinions of the government and opposition time and again. Rajinikanth is somebody who has not made public statements or, tweeted out his views about various things time and again. So this meeting, yes, comes amidst the speculations that he might be testing waters. The Bharatiya Janata Party, which is trying to make inroads in the state, have already said that they are welcoming the actor in case he wants to join the party, and that his ideologies was much more in line with the BJP's when compared to that of Kamal Hassan's. The BJP has not been very appreciative of Kamal Hassan's views and ideologies, whereas they've been very open about Rajinikanth's ideologies being in line with the party. So, yes, these meetings do add to the speculations, although the party has dismissed it. But yes, again, at the end of it, the final word has to come from the horse's mouth itself. The actor himself has to clear out these speculations and say whether or not he wants to make his debut in politics.
And the BJP, as you pointed out, has already jumped the gun and welcomed the actor into the fold. We're going to leave it there for the moment, Revati. Interesting developments coming in from Chennai. But with that, it's also a wrap on this edition. Now, completely out of time. Stay tuned. On the other side, coming up next is Jamaat-ud-Dawa Chief Hafiz Saeed, who's launched a political outfit in Pakistan. But why is the world community silent? Stay tuned to World is One News.